Welcome to part 3 on my series of starting over. If you haven't seen 1 and 2, please go back and watch. But as promised, today I'm going to show you some things in my apartment now that I am settled in here. You know, part 1 and 2 was about leaving my home of over 30 years and how to pack that up and how to be able to leave stuff behind that you realize that you can't take with you because you're moving into a much smaller space. And then came move-in day, and now I'm actually in my apartment. So I wanted to show you some things that I've done to make it mine, because that's the beauty of being here. This is mine. I don't have to take anyone else's opinion into account or even account for anyone else. This is all mine, and how making this space mine was so important to me, to have it be a place that I am happy to come back to every day. And in how I decorated it, how I chose the pieces that I took from the house, because things needed to be multi-purpose. Not only did they need to fit and look good, but they needed to provide storage. You know, this place is the smallest place that I've ever lived in as an adult. And I don't mean that to sound negative, because it's not. I am very happy here and content, and the size is perfect for me. But when you're coming from a large space into a small space, you have to plan for that. And you have to do the hard work while you're at the house before you actually move here. And those are, or move on to your next space. Those are tips that I give in part 2. So if you're in the process of doing that, listen to part 1 and 2, and it'll give context of what I'm talking about. So again, I wanted this to be more fun and show you spaces or items that I've either decorated to feel like mine, or storage solutions, organizational solutions, and show you what it looks like. So I'm going to turn this around and give you a little tour here. And again, if you haven't seen part 2, this is actually a funny part. This piece of furniture, which is really a sideboard, but it's a solid wood piece with a marble top. It was heavy. It was one of the things that the movers had a hard time moving, which was so amazing to me. Anyway, go listen to part 2 for that story. But, excuse my voice, all of a sudden I have a cold. I needed a place for my TV. Originally, I wanted to put the TV on the wall, but something else that you have to be mindful of when you are in an apartment is not making any permanent changes and not putting any more holes than you have to. Like, I do have artwork hanging on the walls. That's one tiny hole that will be very easy to spackle when I leave. But hanging a TV is heavier and would require more holes. I didn't want to do that. So the piece of furniture that I chose to take not only was big enough, looked good, went with this room, but also has plenty of storage in there. So storage was a big consideration in the pieces that I chose to take with me. Some fun things. This piece here, this great wicker basket, which is funny because it's empty now, but this is where I keep my throw blankets rolled up in here. But they happen to be in my car at the moment because my grandson plays baseball, and at night we're on the baseball field, freezing here on Long Island still, so the throws are in my car. But I paid $4 for that great basket that I keep my throws in. Here's another piece that I took from the house. Again, it fit perfectly on this wall. You know, I came to this apartment, once I decided I was going to take this apartment, I came here quite a few times with my notebook in hand, my pen, and my measuring tape. And I measured every wall and every piece of furniture that I had at the house to decide what would fit. So this was great for storage. I keep my glassware in here. It's a place for me to display pretty things on top. And again, it fit perfectly on that wall. Another piece that I took, this used to be at the entranceway of my house next to the front door. This was a great piece that fit perfectly on this wall with the mirror above it. And it gives me a surface to put my pretty things because, again, that is important to me. It may not be important to someone else, but it was important to me. And this is great storage. I keep all of my napkins, placemats, entertaining items in there. So again, fit perfectly in there. Some of the other things that I have, this piece for a small hallway. This was a small wall. I found this piece roadside. And no, I'm not beneath roadside finds. In my furniture refinishing days, I used to love to find pieces like that I would refinish. This didn't even need to be refinished and fit perfectly in that space. I do have a great linen closet, which coincidentally is the same size linen closet as I had in the house. So that for one person is perfect. One thing that is small in the apartment is the bathroom, but I'll show you some of the storage solutions that I have. This great shelf I had gotten from my mom. My mom passed away not too long ago, and we had downsized them for the third time. So at the end, she had very few things, but I did take a couple of items of hers. One of which is this, because it allows me to display some pretty items on it. Again, storage is the number one concern, but I need to have places to display pretty things as well. So this is perfect. Underneath, I keep my scale, so that's out of the way. I did get a shelf for behind the toilet, which serves perfect storage, not only for pretty things, but things that I use every day. If you don't have a shelf, you can't keep out things that you use every day in a small space. So it was important for me to have this shelf. These are great storage items, by the way, which came from the Dollar Tree. A lot of items that I'm going to show you I got from the Dollar Tree. The only other storage that I have in the bathroom is under the vanity. Again, not a big space, so when you don't have width, you need to use the height. I did a whole video on this that you could go back and look using all Dollar Tree items. This 2-tier shelf is great. It fits all the tall items like the hair care products, the face creams. These risers are great from the Dollar Tree. Any of these acrylic containers that hold so much. So I really got to organize that small space and everything fits in there perfectly. The next thing that I will show you is my bedroom. Now, I did talk a lot about this on part 2. The first place that I set up in this apartment was my bedroom. That was important to me because I feel that the bedroom is your most personal space. You start your day here, you end your day here. It was important for me to have this set up immediately. And because, again, I did all of the hard work while I was still at the house, there is nothing that came with me that wasn't intentional and clearly marked as to where it went. I brought the furniture with me. The only thing that I bought new was the bedding. And I absolutely love this bedding. I knew I had the white furniture. This had originally come from my daughter's bedroom that when she moved out, she didn't want or she didn't take with her. So I said, great, I will, excuse me, I will use that. So again, my motif was the white and cream colors. And just a design tip on that, when you're using a monochromatic look, it's really important to use different textures so it sort of stands out. You can see all of this is the same color, but the throw is one texture, the comforter is another texture, the sheets are another texture, the throw pillows, and the shams. And I'm bringing this up because somebody specific asked me about that. I had gone to the thrift store looking for something specific. I needed those two shams, and I wanted them in these colors, the white and the cream, but it needed to be textural. Do you know that I found these? These happen to be custom made. Whoever originally made these paid a lot of money for these, but they were perfect and exactly what I wanted. And I got the pair for $4 at the thrift store. That was a find. I was so excited about that. And I absolutely love how my bed came. And that first night in the apartment when this was all set up, I slept like a baby. Here's something else. Hopefully you can see with the light. I had these sconces in my bedroom before, but a totally different look. Again, in keeping with the white and cream color. I wanted to do new floral arrangements on here. And I had all of this white and cream florals, but I needed a vase. And I did do a video on this for anyone who's interested in knowing how to put this together. I didn't have a vase. So what did I find? I found mugs at the Dollar Tree. And I made the floral arrangement in the mugs. You'd never know that once they're on the shelf and you turn that around, you can't see that handle. And I think that it came out looking like a very boho look, which is usually not my style, but I absolutely love how it evolved. And then in talking about storage solutions, I have two closets in here. I had these shoe racks in the house. I had these attached to the wall in my walk-in closet, and I wanted to be able to use them here, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to put holes in the doors or the walls. So I said, how can I use these? I went on Amazon and I searched over the door long hooks, which I found, and these shoe racks were able to be placed right on them. So I have them on the back of all my closet doors for all of my shoe collection. Here's another great storage tip. These S-hooks, which are also at the Dollar Tree. I believe these were in the plant section. A great place to hang your belts or anything else. This I haven't even used yet. This is another thing from the Dollar Tree. An over-the-door hook with all of these hooks on it. You can put belts on this. You could put scarves on this. You could put handbags on this. I love any over-the-door things because, again, you don't have to put holes in anything, and it makes for a great storage solution. So I wanted to share that with you. Then in here, if you saw my video on thrifting when I needed a lamp, that is the lamp that I got. This piece, I said I got a couple of pieces from my mom. This is the other piece that I got from my mom. A great storage solution. It has 3 drawers and 3 doors. It was a great place for me to put my printer, which is what I needed. And then I needed a lamp here. I absolutely love this lamp. I got that at Savers for $7.99. I love the shape of it. It's not round. It's more of a rectangle shape. But I love the detail on it. This was definitely a higher end lamp. And for $7.99, you can't beat that. That was another score. Here's another piece that I love. This plant stand is something I got from my mom a long time ago. I have my peace plant on that. That's from my son's funeral, so it's very special to me. And look, it's blooming. And talking about plants, I have another one over here that I have on the floor. And I have it raised off the floor. That is a wicker wastebasket. So again, I had that wastebasket I brought from the house. I really didn't need it when I thought about it when I got here. And I said, but wait, that'll be a great riser for the plants. This is another piece that I had gotten from the thrift store a long time ago. I'm not even sure what this piece is. It looks to me to be, I don't know, a kneeling bench, if there's such a thing, or maybe it's like a library ladder. It's very heavy, solid wood, and very well made. Again, in my furniture refinishing days, I would have loved to redo a piece like this, but the colors were just perfect. I love that black and dark rich wood. And it was a perfect place for me to put my plants on. I added a pretty tassel just, for, to decorate it a bit. But I love how that goes in here. And here's another piece that I got at Savers. This wall was small, but I had all my measurements with me. I needed another storage space. It has 2 drawers and 2 doors. This was $7.99 at Savers. So don't pass up the thrift stores when you're looking for storage solutions or accent pieces. I'm going to show you a few things in my kitchen. I have actually, for an apartment, a lot of cabinets, and I think I have just as many as I had in the house. It's just a different layout. And I was looking to do a little vignette on my counter. I did have one of these cutting boards. I got 2 more at the thrift store. A little wicker basket holds my garlic. I did get that container to hold my utensils. I believe that was $2 at the thrift store. But what a perfect little vignette that makes, right? And then this piece I bought, I absolutely love this. Again, I love to entertain. So I really wanted a bar space, and this space was perfect to put this in. I got this on Facebook Marketplace, I think for $40. It's on wheels, so I can move this wherever I want. It has so much storage. I could put glasses. I could put all the bottles that I need. And of course, I needed to complete the decorating. I found this print at Savers. It was $7. Is that not perfect to put above the bar with the wine glass and the wine bottle? I just love how that came together. And again, in talking about storage solutions, don't forget I have a closet here. Don't forget about the back of the door. This real estate is a gold mine. I did another over the door shelving system that I keep all of my cleaning supplies. It is the perfect place to keep this. So accessible for me. I do have room under the kitchen sink, but I don't like to put too much under there because it's not so easy to reach. I only have a few things under there. I like this so much better because it's easier to put it away and get it out, plus see it. I like being able to see things. And speaking of which, another organizational thing in my kitchen, and I know I am very lucky in an apartment to have a pantry that is this large, in addition to all the cabinets that I have. So I don't need to keep any food in my cabinets. I have all of it in my pantry. And I did a video on how I made these shelf covers because these have the white wire shelves, which I absolutely hate because things tip over, fall, break. I wanted to do a shelf cover that had a lip, that these look like plank shelves. So this was all done, again, with Dollar Tree items. Go look for that video. I have one video on how I made the shelves and one video on how I organized the pantry. I absolutely love my pantry. See, it's the little things that make me happy. And one more thing I'd like to show you in the living room because I have a video on this as well. I had these 2 windows here and I was looking for something to hang in that tall space between the windows. I didn't want to do another print because I had a print there and I have prints on this wall. So I wanted something more architectural. And again, I found this at Savers for $7. It is black metal. I love the black pieces. I have that black sprinkled all over. Black to me is classic and elegant, so I love black pieces. But anyway, this went perfectly here, the vertical shape of it, and it had a little shelf. And I made a floral arrangement on it, which is very neutral, just greens and a few cream color florals, which again, all came from the Dollar Tree, which you would never know that. But when you look back, it just looks so pretty. And again, it faced that space so well. I hope you enjoyed me sharing those little things with you that I've done or created to make this space my happy place and make it for me. this space is still evolving, and that's what I love about it. And I could change it at any time. And I usually am making little tweaks here and there. It's the beauty of living in your own space and doing it for yourself. The mind shift change that I had when I moved in is, in a big house, you fill space. In an apartment, you choose what deserves space. And it was that shift in my thinking, whether it was about space, items, things, even people, circumstances. It changed how I thought about everything. And that was really an important shift. It's in my journey of starting over, the things that I'm learning. And I do have one piece of advice for anyone who is decorating small on a budget. Buy less, but buy what you love. That's important. You need to love it no matter what it is. One beautiful thrift find beats 10 things of just filling space. Believe me, I love it. I have a beautiful space here for me. I have my independence. I have my creativity back, which for me is huge, and it's a big part of who I am. And some nights I sit in the quiet of this apartment and I remind myself that this is enough. I am enough. That part of the journey, the emotional side of living alone, is what we're going to talk about next. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss part 4. And in closing, I'd like to ask you something. What is one thing that you would absolutely have to take with you if you were starting over? Put that in the comments. I read and respond to every comment, and I'd love to hear what you say about that. And remember, what you put in the comments can truly help someone else on this journey as well. We're all here to support each other on this journey of starting over. So, until next time.